Hello friend, Hussaini Academy welcomes you once again. In this video, I am going to talk about another important topic you are expected to keep in your mind about these fact which I am going to discuss about the lost generation. So today I will talk about the lost generation, very important generation. Many times question from this generation appears in net exam. So you are expected to go through another information. Would like to give you that. My other videos are available on YouTube. You can watch. They are related to other literary movement, literary societies, literary committees. Definitely, it will contribute to your existing body of knowledge. So you should keep in your mind all these things. And moving ahead, I will talk about the lost generation. So there are certain important points which you are expected to keep in your mind as a student of literature. Point number one to be kept about this generation, that it was generation. It gained prominence in 20th century literature. I mean that it was a generation after First World War. So it was generation after First World War. That's why they encountered all the experiences, all the situations, circumstances which was led by First World War. And second point to be noted is that the lost generation, the term, it was coined by Gertrude Stein. So it was coined by Gertrude Stein, and it was developed, it was popularized by Ernest Hemingway in the epigraph to his novel The Sun Also Rise. Very important novel. That is very important novel. You should keep in your mind. And his memoir A Movable Feast. So in this epigraph, he popularized, he developed this particular term, the lost generation. Okay, so it was an American writer. It was an American group of writer who moved from America to Paris and other part of Europe, and they witnessed First World War and the beginning of the Great Depression. And that is why when you see novels and works written by the lost generation writer, they have tried to depict all that circumstances, situation in their works. So the writer who are associated with this particular branch of generation are Ernest Hemingway, F. Scott Fitzgerald, and Ezra Pound, Valedo Pierce, John Dos Passos, Sherwood Anderson, T.S. Eliot. These are important and significant figure that you must keep in your mind because they are associated with the lost generation. Lost generation is the mainly used for those who witnessed First World War and the beginning of depression, the Great Depression in the world of history. Okay, so these are writer associated with this. I think it is clear, and coined by Gertrude Stein. It is clear to you. Moving ahead, we will talk about some important writer and their work which mainly comes in net exam. Gertrude Stein. So she's a very important writer for your net, and she has written multiple works like The Making of American, Paris, France, Three Lives. These are important works produced by her. You are expected to go through, you are expected to know about protagonist and important character, important roles and important themes of these works. Okay, another important writer, Ernest Hemingway, an American writer, he who won Nobel Prize, and he wrote many novels like The Sun Also Rises, A Farewell to Arms, For Whom the Bell Tolls, The Old Man and the Sea. These are important works which were written by Ernest Hemingway. You are expected to keep in your mind, and you should go through because many question comes from these novel multiple time. It has been noticed in net exam and other exam. Okay, another important writer, F. Scott Fitzgerald. So he is also an important writer for net. Okay, The Side of Paradise, The Beautiful and Damned, The Great Gatsby, Tender is the Night, The Last Tycoon, which was published after his death. So these are important works which were written by F. Scott Fitzgerald. So you are expected to go through these works. Okay. So now we will discuss about the themes which are found in the novels of the lost generation, in the works of the lost generation writer. And you must keep in your mind all these themes, okay? So when you study, you will come across loss of identity, loss of faith, loss of beliefs, loss of values, loss of meaning. So these are, themes of novel and works written by the lost generation writer. Loss of identity, so writers and characters are member of, lost generation, the lost generation, and they are playing the role, and they are playing the role in the way that they reflect the situation and circumstances which they faced, which they encounter after, during First World War and after First World War. So that thing you can get, that character are trying to find out meaning of the life. They are trying to search for identity, okay? Another important theme, loss of inherited values, social values, cultural values, political values, spiritual values. So the term lost itself, suggests all these things. They lost because of First World War, because they encounter such condition and such circumstances which created all these, okay? Spiritual alienation and infertility is also one of the important characteristic that you can notice, that you can see in the novels written by them. Disillusionment in the society of post World War First. So because of the condition and circumstances they went through, they faced, you can see that these disappointment, infertility, disillusionment in the society of World War First, you can notice. And in the novels and work which were written by the lost generation writer, they have tried to reflect all these themes, okay? Uncertainty of future, there is no certainty of future. This is also important themes of the lost generation writer. In their novel, in their work, you can find it out, you can investigate, and you can trace it out. Decline of American dream. So that is also one of the important themes of the lost generation writers, and the novel which were written, the works which were written by them, these themes. Dream basically includes economic stability, prosperity, happiness, better life, and rich people, individual, fulfillment of all requirement. That is what American dream expect, okay? So these are important themes which you are expected to keep in your mind. And another important thing which I discussed with you, that it was coined by Gertrude Stein, it was developed by Hemingway and other important American writer, which I have mentioned in this particular video. You are expected to keep in your mind because it will contribute to your knowledge, and you need to have these theme in your mind, you need to keep in your mind. And if you are going to make a you are going to write a research paper, then you can apply these theme, you can try to find out in a particular work. So any work which has these themes, okay, that will be incorporated under the banner of the lost generation. I hope that you are able to get multiple things associated with this particular generation. If you like this video, then subscribe and share, and please keep in your mind all the facts which I have mentioned with you. They are very important because many time in exams it appear. So I hope you like video. If you like, share, subscribe, and if you face any kind of the problem, any literary issue which you are not able to understand, put into comment box. I will try to resolve as soon as possible. Good to meet you once again. Thank you very much.